So former NFL receiver Antonio Brown currently has a warrant out for his arrest, and he may or may not care one bit, potentially even riding a bike around in the Middle East today instead of turning himself in. Who really knows what to believe when it comes to this guy, but the police really do have a warrant out for his arrest, and depending on how things play out, AB could find himself behind bars for up to 15 years. I'll break all that down in today's video, including the most recent updates I have. Then the Rams have been busy making moves as a key player deals with more health issues. Meanwhile, the Vikings are hoping their QB1 bounces back from his injury and has a fantastic season. So let's talk about all that and more right after. Alright, first up, we've got to dive into this insane story involving former NFL wide receiver Antonio Brown, because this man is currently wanted for attempted murder, and it doesn't seem like he gives a you-know-what. Here's what's going on. Last month, Aiden Ross hosted a celebrity boxing event in Miami. AB was in attendance, and while there, he got into an altercation with a man named Zulkarnain. There is no chance in hell that I said that correctly. I apologize. But he and Antonio were seen on surveillance video fighting, with a couple other individuals jumping in, and things escalated pretty quickly. Security guards came in to break it up, and according to the arrest warrant obtained by TMZ, police said that in the midst of the scuffle, Antonio stole a security guard's gun and chased after Nantambo, allegedly firing 2 shots while within several feet of him. There's actually cell phone video of the incident going down, and in a later interview with police, Nantambo told them that AB did indeed shoot at him, and that one of the bullets possibly grazed him in the neck, with the cops confirming visible injuries and Nantambo even going to the hospital. And interestingly enough, he also claimed that he's known Antonio Brown since 2022, so there's at least some sort of a history there between both he and AB. Now, here's an important part to this story. Initially, after the shots were fired, AB was detained by police on the scene after several witnesses identified him as the shooter, but he did not have the gun on him, and Nantambo, the victim, was nowhere to be found, and they couldn't find the gun either, so they let Antonio go. All of this information that we're finding out now is a bit different than what Brown claimed to have happened the next day on X. He said that he was jumped by multiple individuals who were trying to steal his jewelry and cause physical harm to him, sharing that police temporarily detained him, but he was released, went home that night, and was not arrested. Well, yeah, that last part is true, I guess, but the first part is what everybody's trying to figure out the actual truth to. Was this self-defense from Antonio Brown, or did he start the whole thing? And the day after the incident, while AB was posting to X trying to detail what was going on, police were reviewing the security footage from the event and saw that Antonio appeared to be the one who initiated the fight, and that sparked others to get involved. And it showed basically everything that went down with him taking the security guard's gun and chasing after Nantambo. They also found 2 shell casings at the scene, so things are lining up from an evidence standpoint, at least right now. Of course, it's innocent until proven guilty. This is alleged, and we've got to let the legal process play out. But because of all that, Antonio has a warrant out for his arrest, and he's wanted on 1 felony charge of attempted second-degree murder with a firearm. This warrant, by the way, states that AB will be required to post a $10,000 bond while staying under house arrest as he awaits trial. Well, good luck with all that, because Antonio seems unfazed by all this, posting a video of him riding on a bike and smiling this afternoon to his X account. The caption said, "Love from the Middle East," and if you look at the signs of the store on the side of the road as he's riding his bike, this is Arabic or definitely not English, so AB really either is in the Middle East right now, or he's trolling everybody by posting an older video of when he visited somewhere over there previously. He wasn't done posting to X, by the way, shared another photo of whoever the heck this guy is saying he did it, and then another tweet said, "What doesn't kill me makes me stronger. Wanna play?" And then it's an ad. It's an ad for a sports betting company, which is absolutely insane right now. So AB does not give a regardless of how Antonio Brown feels about the situation. This is kind of insane and kind of sad. The downfall of AB over the years has definitely been disappointing, and this man could spend up to 15 years in prison, depending on how the legal process plays out with this situation. I'll talk about that in a second, but at the peak of AB's powers. He was one of, if not the best receiver in all of football. His run with the Steelers from 2013 to 2018 was absolutely legendary. In those 6 seasons alone, he had nearly 700 catches, over 9,000 yards, and a total of 70 touchdowns if you include a few punt returns. Some say he was never the same after the nasty hit he took from Vontaze Burfict during the 2015 season, and it's hard to argue with that. To be honest, his time with the Steelers didn't end well, and after the 2018 season, they traded him to the then John Gruden-led Oakland Raiders. It was a nightmare of an offseason for the Raiders with AB. Multiple things happened there, and they ended up releasing him before he even played a game with them, and were also out a 3rd and a 5th round pick that they traded to go and get him. AB was then picked up by the Patriots, lasting 1 game there until he was released after being involved in a lawsuit accusing him of sexual assault that I believe he ended up denying and ultimately settling. From there, AB signed with the Bucs in 2020, but had to serve a 8-game suspension before making his debut, and he actually had a solid season with them and Tom Brady, whom he reunited with, going on to win Super Bowl 55. The next year, though, 2021, that is the infamous moment on the field when he stripped his jersey off, gave the peace sign, and was never seen on an NFL field again. That is the last image we have of Antonio Brown in the NFL. Since then, he's been spending his retirement becoming very popular on social media with the whole CTESPN thing, but he still had his fair share of drama and issues over that span. This most recent incident, at least what's being alleged here, is serious stuff, and if convicted, it most likely means time in prison, with a max of 15 years being the worst case scenario. So let me know your thoughts on this crazy AB situation in the comments down below. Don't really like to talk about this guy per se, but the situation has escalated to a insane enough level that it was definitely needed to talk about. All right, next up in some actual NFL news, the Rams have been busy making a couple of recent roster moves. Most recently, they waived their former 6th round pick in cornerback Darian Kendrick, who started his career strong but missed last season with an ACL tear. Well, that led fans to believe LA could be interested in either Jair Alexander or one of their former players in Jalen Ramsey, who's on the trade block over there in Miami. Cornerback is definitely a position of need for them, even heading into the draft, and get this, they didn't even address said position in the draft, so a move for somebody seems to be incoming sooner rather than later. The next move LA made was signing veteran offensive tackle DJ Humphries yesterday to a 1-year deal. The reason for that is because, per Ian Rappaport, their left tackle Alaric Jackson is once again dealing with blood clots. He struggled with something similar in 2022, but went on to have a solid 2023 and 2024. In spite of Alaric dealing with this once again, though, the belief is that he will play in 2025, but Humphries is some added insurance just in case. As long as Humphries is fully back from the ACL tear he had week 17 of the 2023 NFL season, he will be a fine depth piece for sure. He tried to come back mid-season last year, signing with the Chiefs, who desperately needed left tackle help, but he didn't last one full game upon his return before tweaking his hamstring. From there, he did play Week 18 with KC's backups against Denver, but didn't see any actual playing time during the playoffs. Well, he could find himself with some real playing time if things don't go in a favorable way for Alaric Jackson, but I really hope his health holds up and he's all good to go for the entire season. Either way, it never hurts to have quality depth, especially at such a premium position, and after all, good teams protect their quarterbacks. That's what the Vikings have tried to do this offseason with their presumed new starting quarterback, J.J. McCarthy. Sam Darnold is now a Seahawk, and J.J. is expected to take over after missing all of last season with a torn meniscus that needed surgery. The Vikings have had high hopes for him since taking him 10th overall in the 2024 NFL Draft, and believe it or not, that's actually the highest they've ever taken a quarterback in the draft. Anyway, McCarthy spoke with the media yesterday and said that he's been fully cleared by the medical staff after a recent physical. That's great news because after missing all last year, he could use every single rep he can get. He has been participating in OTAs and minicamp and said he hasn't felt his surgically repaired knee at all, which is something you really do love to hear. JJ's going to have plenty of weapons at his disposal in this offense, so that definitely helps. We've got Justin Jefferson, Jordan Addison, TJ Hawkinson, Aaron Jones, the newly traded for Jordan Mason, and a completely retooled interior offensive line. They signed former Colts Ryan Kelly and Will Fries to play center and right guard, then drafted Donovan Jackson to play left guard, though he has tackle experience and could fill in for Christian Darrisaw, who's recovering from an ACL and MCL tear. Darrisaw, though, speaking of knee injuries, was out there on the practice field this week for the first time since he had that injury back in late October. A week 1 return return isn't completely out of the picture, though Kevin O'Connell said they're just taking it day to day right now and they'll worry about that when it's time. You definitely don't want to rush him out there, that's for sure. I say all that to say this. The Vikings have built on what was already a solid roster last season, and that's not even to mention all the moves they made on defense. While they crashed and burned the final 2 games of the year, including the playoffs, they did win 14 games after all. The biggest question mark, though, is definitely going to be J.J. McCarthy. Can he replicate the success in a pretty similar manner that Sam Darnold had in this offense last year? And the question mark with McCarthy is it's his first year playing in the NFL. Well, the Vikings seem to be pretty confident that he can, which according to Jeremy Fowler is exactly why they didn't end up signing Aaron Rodgers. And when you look at the contract that Rodgers did sign with the Steelers, it wasn't that expensive, so Minnesota definitely could have afforded to bring him on if they really wanted. Anyway, Fowler continued saying that the Vikings view themselves as having a 3-year Super Bowl window with JJ as their starter playing under his rookie contract. It makes sense. They've been able to splurge in free agency knowing that they won't have to break the bank at QB for the foreseeable future. But at the same time, in order for all this to actually work, they need McCarthy to play at a high level. Kevin O'Connell will certainly have a lot to do with getting him ready to go. After all, he's basically the QB whisperer with a great track record of getting the most out of his quarterbacks. He found success with Kirk Cousins, Sam Darnold, and even Josh Dobbs for a stretch there. And another thing here on McCarthy, if he does pan out and becomes a long-term starter for the Vikings, that'll be yet another solid QB from the 2024 draft class. Caleb Williams, Jaden Daniels, Drake May, Michael Penix, J.J. McCarthy, and Bo Nix were all taken in the first round and are heading into the 2025 season as their team's starter. It'll be interesting to look back on this QB class years from now and see who has the most successful career, that's for sure. But hey, that's all I have for y'all today. Be safe this weekend. Dads out there, have a great Father's Day, and with that, I'll see y'all next time.